Who's joined us? Who was that?
Sorry, this is Shelley.
Hi, Shelley.
And I do these things from home, and it took me a while to figure out what the meeting ID was because the email was at work.
Good job figuring it out.
Yeah. So,
Well, it just requires crypto cards.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So really, to a large extent, Webdirect is about deployment, because one of the things that we've been asked for years and years is some sort of thin client for FileMaker, because organizations either don't want to deploy to a desktop, or they're trying to extend a solution to business partners where they can't rely on those people having FileMaker. And it gives you a way to get to a browser deployment that leverages your FileMaker skills, which is a big savings versus traditional full-scale PHP or other web development, and it supports desktop browsers. So that's Webdirect, and we'll demo that and talk about it a lot. Next is iPhone and iPad solutions. So we're really trying to build in more iOS behaviors, things like slide controls and popovers, the ability to detect screen rotation. I don't know how many times that was requested over the years. And we've also added barcode scanning for data capture, and also all the new fun keyboard types so that you can, for example, when you're typing in a phone number field, type on a phone keypad.
Yes.
Because I am not a number memorizer, I am a pattern memorizer. Granted, I now store everybody's phone numbers, so I never actually dial phone numbers anymore, but back in the day, it's all about patterns. So custom themes, you can build and share custom themes among files. So if you've got a solution where you want to match your brand, you can build a theme in FileMaker just like you would build a theme in Pages or Quark Express or InDesign. And then add a background image to that, and then copy that theme. You can move that theme through an import process across many files. So once you get that theme locked down, you can share it across many databases. And we've got 11 new themes in FileMaker, 13 for desktop, mobile, and printing. We have a good, clean printing theme, finally. And then you can further tune your look with styles. So just like in Microsoft Word, if you have something that's tagged as a heading 1, you could have all your layout text be, all your default field text be the same. And if you change the default on one of them and then apply that style change, it rolls across all the fields. So you don't have to grab a bunch of things and reformat them at once or use the format painter. Or many other things. And then you can create and save. So all the themes have predefined styles. And we actually went into the older themes and defined styles for all the older themes as well. And then you can create and save your own custom styles and make a custom theme.
Guy from Jeremy from the Scarpetta group was doing he's got a 4-part series on their blog. Really digging into themes and styles and stuff, and he'll be releasing part 5 soon here.
Yeah, except he just moved to beeswax.
Oh, did he really?
He did.
I didn't know that.
I'm very excited because it means I still get to work with him. But,
oh, okay.
Yeah,
I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very recent. It's in the last couple of weeks.
Oh.
So layouts, improvements to the layout builder. I really like that, the layout wizard now understands that you might want to build for an iPad
or an
iPhone. So you can specify, I am building this layout for the iPad, locks the layout to that size, selects an appropriate touch theme, so you don't even have to think about it. And the other option there is hiding behind the pop over there is printer. So you also can get a nice clean printing theme if you're building labels or a report that's going to be printed. And the other new thing is the field picker, which very nicely lets you just start from a blank canvas and drag fields onto the layout rather than creating a layout and getting that really not very useful column of fields. Security. This is like my near and dear topic right now since I'm talking about security at DevCon this year. We have full database encryption at rest that can be turned on for any solution. So any place where that file is, once it's encrypted, be it on your desktop machine as a local file, hosted on FileMaker server, on an iPad, on your backup media, wherever it is.
That encrypts the whole database, not...
Right. Yeah, it's not a field level encryption. It's like, you know, a disk encryption. It's an all or nothing. So it encrypts the whole database.
And then it'll do like HIPAA compliance.
That is one part of HIPAA compliance. I mean, you've still got to do all the other access logging and things for HIPAA, but yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Are you guys going to come out with a better way so we have good plugins to actually encrypt fields?
So we looked at doing it both ways, and you know,
It's more for security. Yeah, it's nice to have a thing, but sometimes you want, well, just where I work is some of the stuff we do with specifically we need to encrypt fields.
Well, so I mean, so it's not so much encrypt fields as control access to fields. Well, you need the data scrambled, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so the whole database encryption at rest gets you that.
Right. Yes, but what I requested was a way to actually encrypt the fields. So.
Yeah. No. I mean, we've had the request, and we looked at doing it both ways, and just for the vast majority of the use cases that we identified, this solves the problem, and it's a much easier to implement than trying to do field level encryption. So you can do the whole database encryption and then field level access through the security model, so through accounts and privileges. I mean, the other thing you've got in FileMaker Pro itself when you're connected is a way to actually, down in the lower left corner of the screen, there's a little lock indicator that will tell you, are you over an open connection, over an SSL connection, or over an SSL connection with a signed certificate. Which is nice. It's really subtle, but it's really nice. And you've also got some get functions that let you interrogate on those same things. So you can, find out, if it's a really sensitive solution, you can make sure, okay, is this deployed on the server it's supposed to be deployed on? So that somebody hasn't grabbed it back up and launched it on some other server. Is it going over SSL? If it's not,
shut down the server.
Yeah. And speaking of encryption, as long as we're on that SSL topic, I'm sure you saw all the Heartbleed announcements. Server 13 and Pro 13 were both vulnerable to Heartbleed, and we have now released patches for both of them.
They just downloaded one of them.
Yeah, so and if you haven't deployed Server 13 yet, go re-download. Go to the download page and re-download. And if you need links, get in touch with Monique, and she'll get them resent to you. Because there is a full installer. There are full installers for everything if you're doing new deployments. And then there's all kinds of new developer features. My personal favorites are Perform Script on Server, which lets you offload a lot of work to the server, which is really neat. And the other one that is my other favorite is the conditional object show and hide. That one.
Yeah.
Which lets you, basically using a condition on the layout, dynamically show and hide objects.
Base 64 is pretty nice.
Base 64 is cool too. I've seen some neat tricks with the Base 64 as well. It's just not something I do a lot.
Vince Manano from Linear Blue just put out a great blog post on the Perform Script on Server.
He did a great presentation, and actually that's what he's talking. That's one of the things he's talking about at DevCon as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I actually did that as a presentation for all the West Coast. So for Seattle, Portland, Bay Area, and LA.
Yeah, the difference
at the beginning of the month.
When he was doing stuff in the Bay Area, he was there was substantial, like 100 times faster.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're.
But when he went to Sweden, it was like 400 times faster.
Yeah, so anytime you're doing
for server-based stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, he was specifically testing processing records and importing records. You know, basically creating a bunch of records. And well, it turns out if you do it all on the server, you don't have to push all that data back and forth across the network. You know, which if you're in an office with a good network and the server is local is not a big deal. But if you're on an iPad,
it is a big deal.
Excuse me, or if you've got remote users, it's a huge deal. So it is actually really quite neat. And so a couple other things, Server 13, big new feature is the new admin console. Again, HTML5, no more Java runtime environment, no more Java updates breaking your ability to administer your server. Yes.
Well,
and also, you know, the other administration pieces, we did some TCP/IP port consolidation, so you don't need to request as many ports when you're dealing with for firewalls and things. So now, let's take a look. And I'm going to sit down for the demo part because it's too hard to stand up and bend over and type in things. So I'll start and give the overview, and then you guys can tell me where you want to dive in.
Okay.
That sounds good. All right, so here is a solution called Gallery Master, and this is for a real FileMaker customer that is a real art gallery that has branches in New York City, LA, and Vegas. And also, the owner of the gallery owns a castle in the south of France.
Oh, life is rough all around.
Life is rough, isn't it?
Tough.
So where's the part for his wine?
I don't know. Yeah, but this is an actual photograph of the art gallery in New York City. And so they've been using FileMaker for years, and we went to them and said, hey, we think you have a great use case that helps us showcase the whole platform. We'd love to rebuild your solution for you if we can use your name in our demos. And so we did this, and we have since turned it over to them and their developer, who is now actually putting it into real use at the gallery.
So we got a free upgrade.
So they got a free, basically a free or much reduced cost rewrite of their solution.
Be interesting and have a villa in France.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got a villa in France with a nice wine cellar.
You know, so this solution is all about, so it's got, you know, some components. So on the desktop, I've got the ability to sort of manage what's the artwork, you know, in the gallery, and I can pick one, and this has been submitted for consideration. I can, you know, click through my slide control and see a few different views of it. You know, I can make a decision here to acquire or decline. I can get some information about the artist in a popover, or I can go back to my list, you know, and I can filter this and say, just show me, rather than showing me pending, show me everything that's available and where it is. And I can probably also even sort by who the artist is. And
is this intended for just the people in the gallery or for clients as well?
so this piece specifically is for the people who manage the art in the gallery.
Okay.
So this is really people sitting at desks in the gallery.
And that's fine.
Yeah, you know, and again, I've got the artwork, I've got, you know, the customers, again, it's the same list. And like one thing I like to point out as I'm looking at the list view, what are you not seeing in the list view? No,
The left-hand margin.
the little left-hand 4-pixel
Yes.
bar is now off by
Yeah.
default, so you can turn it off, so you don't have to do all that magic to line things up on the layout.
Mhm.
And you've also got the row highlights. So I've got, instead of having that 4-pixel bar, I can just do a row highlight without having to do any tricks. It's just it's a state, it's an object state on the layout. You know, and from here I can click through to a customer and see what artwork that customer has purchased. And finally, again, I've got the artists. I can say, you know, who are they? What have they sold? Click through to some of the art. So that is the high-level view of the desktop solution used by the staff, mostly in the back office, the people who manage the artwork, do finances, and all of that. So now I'm going to switch to my iPad, and this is what consultants use in the gallery. And just to be safe, this is what the consultants.
like having a football game.
Yeah. Oops.